Okay, let's go. Let's start. We have people missing, but they're supposed to be getting here soon. So, welcome to the second session of the Literary Circles, guys. Again, it's a pleasure to have you here. So, what we are going to discuss today is chapter number 2 of the audiobook Brave New World. So, first, I would like to hear some impressions. You cannot hear. Did you like the book? The chapter, sorry, or no? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
Yes.
Anyone who would like to start by stating their opinion of the chapter, general opinion? Okay. Maybe Jorge. What about you? Did you like the chapter?
Yes, I like this chapter. It's very funny.
Funny.
And yes, it's curious because the philosophy of the author is similar of the actual reality, because the pure people, the pure class, the lower class of babies is we can do a analogy with our reality, because the lower caste they do many things that our caste they have to do many things to up to earn money, to earn education, and the lower caste in the book, the system, the Bokanovsky group, the laboratory put in them the conditions for his future, or them future, and it's similar with our reality.
Yes, we last class we commented that everything here is pretty much similar to what we're going through now, and not even now, like we've always gone through through centuries. Has been pretty much the same process. So conditioning, that's the key here. Felipe, I would like to hear your opinion here. What do you think of the chapter in general?
Yeah, it was shorter, I think,
Yes.
than the first one, but it was more focused on, as you said, on conditioning. And one thing that caught my attention was books. Books were prohibited or banned from lower caste babies, because the higher people thought that they don't need to have an education to learn something new, because maybe that will
Sorry.
Hola.
Maybe that. Hello. Okay.
Not a thing.
Yeah,
maybe
hear you. Don't worry. Sorry, Felipe.
Maybe by learning, lower caste people might encourage them to do some things that are not meant to do.
Yes.
And the analogy with our society, I think that education is very hard for poor people, because either it's too expensive or maybe it's too difficult, and the education in the lower society is very it lacks quality.
Yes, bad education. So, Redo, any thoughts you would like to share?
Yes, I like this chapter. Is very interesting, but I didn't like the form because the second chapter is about condition, other topic. The director is and condition. In this are explain about why or what is the condition, but for babies, it is very sad.
It's horrible.
Horrible.
You hear them crying, like all the time crying. It is so sad. Yes.
Yeah. The babies, the lower caste, suffer a lot for me. Uh,
I
I
agree with
didn't
you on that.
like.
I agree with you on that. I agree completely, especially with the crying. It made me really sad. I imagine how it would be in real life for those.
Electric shock is
Yeah.
horrible.
Christian, what's your opinion of
Hola,
sadness?
Well, um, the second chapter, I think that is complementing the first chapter for conditioning the people for the society uh, is that is describing in the book uh, with bad stimuli like electricity and louder sounds for controlling uh, easier for his interest.
Yes. They are trying to, they are kind of torturing the kids, torturing the babies. It's a form of torture for conditioning, which is like horrible. Nowadays, we would say that something like that is not possible. It's not, it can be allowed. But not so long ago, someone named Skinner made similar experiments with babies, and conditioning was used a long time in several aspects, especially education. So it may sound horrible and unbelievable, but it's actually pretty much based on real facts. Jorge Patricio, any thoughts you would like to share with us?
Eh,
Hello, first of all.
se escucha, ¿cierto?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi to everyone again. Um, well, this chapter, I think that it's more explicit and give us more information to understand this. I think evil ways to conditioning the society in the book. I don't remember what literary kind of book are this, but in this chapter we can see a very definitive form of training people like the Pavlovian way of conditioning. It's very sad, like um, like was said in this chat, and I want to compliment or agree that in some part we can see the true effects of the conditioning and training the people, like in the part that we see how the people, how the children was constant under the influence of the positive and negative reinforcement. Um, in one part, the director of the company explained that in the beginning of this, I must repeat, evil experiment, uh, uh, they try to do the same lessons to every people. For example, are mentioned the Nile River, the longest of the river, but the people, the children, can think, but for himself, he he just repeat the lessons and says the Nile River is the longest river in the world. It begins of Africa, whatever. So this this kind of conditioning, like everyone says, for me, it's okay. It's a book. It's fiction, but in a 100% capitalism system, I think this is the way that the alphas wanna train us, wanna condition us, just to be machines of repeat and repeat and again, and it's very explicit, like I said.
Wow, big words. So yeah, I completely agree with you. And here we have, he's a history teacher, so he uses the accurate vocabulary, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and Pavlov. Three things that are key to education. Positive reinforcement: when a kid behaves well, you do something good for that kid, and that kid realizes, oh, I should keep doing this because I get good things. Negative reinforcement is when you have a kid and you punish that kid, and that kid will never do that same thing again because bad things happen. Here we have a lot of negative reinforcement, loud noises, the babies cry, and after a while they realize that they shouldn't do that, repeat that behavior because it will cost a lot. So speaking of Pavlov, everybody here knows Pavlov.
Yes.
Yes, yes, Vero, Felipe, Jorge,
Yes.
Jorge, other
No,
Jorge,
there's another Jorge.
Jorge Pinto. Do you know Pablo?
No, I don't remember.
You are the only one. No, no, no. Here, who would like to volunteer and explain to Jorge who is Pavlov and what's the Pavlovian method? Thank you for being so cooperative volunteers.
Okay,
Maybe Jorge, he's the other Jorge. Can you explain
I
the other Jorge, please?
maybe I can give a idea to my tocayo.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't remember the name, but Pavlov is a psychologist from the
Russian.
beginning of Russian.
Yes, Russian psychologist.
Russian psychologist from the past century that designed one in his studies. He created the Pavlovian conditioning system, trying his experiment with rats, and it's the classical example of where we have rats living in harmony in a environment made for us. And like Alicia says, the rats in that experiment, I remember that gonna receive gift, no, premio,
Reward, a reward.
a reward for do the behavior that experiment that the scientists want. Like, and if the rats don't do the the action, the expected action, la action esperada,
Expected
you
reaction.
understand?
Yes.
They receive electro shock. It's very it's very sad.
Lovely.
But Pavlov receive a amount of reconocimientos.
Recognition.
Está yendo
Yeah.
bien. In the scientific community for his aportations.
Yes, actually, he provided important information. Conditioning is something that we still consider it in education, and especially positive and negative reinforcement. He also did an experiment with a dog that is called the Pavlov dog. And in this experiment, the other experiments, he had a bell. So there was this dog, and every time they gave this dog food, a bell rang. It was like dee, 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 and the dog associated the bell sound with food. So later, they took away the food and just kept the bell. And every time the dog heard the bell rang, he started salivating because he knew food was coming, though food was never coming. So he provided very important information regarding how our brains can be trained to certain situations, to react in certain ways. And now, for example, we can use that information to work on conditioning. If you, for example, as a teacher, sometimes you have a group of students and you condition them to, every time I say means silence. And everyone understands, and that is no bad. There's nothing bad with that. There's nothing wrong with that. This later led to positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. So yeah, it is good. But the problem is when bad people use it for bad purposes, like the people here. I wanted to talk about the case they comment. They talk about this baby. Remember the baby? What's the name? Let me just go back to the baby's names. Does anyone remember the baby? The story of Ruben. Ruben, that's the name. Ruben was a Polish baby. Anyone who would like to share the story of Ruben with us? Maybe Vero?
Yeah.
Do you remember Ruben?
Yeah.
So what's the story? What's his story?
Yeah. Ruben Rabinovich. His name.
She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
I take a note. Take a note.
I know she's a very dedicated student.
But I have a comment. The model Pablo. This model applies for the many concepts in the life. Stimul positive or negative. All the time in our life, we have a stimul, positive with food. I am a nutritionist. I apply a model Pablo for my patient because stimul sweet is a stimul positive for brain. Or is short comment.
Yeah.
But,
thank you. I didn't know that. I mean, I think I knew it, but I never thought of it. So good point. Thank you.
Food.
Food. Food.
Yeah, but Ruben, he's a boy, little boy, before after the fourth.
Yeah. We divide time before four. Before four.
Before four, yeah.
Yes. Horrible times before four. Horrible times.
Yeah. He had parents. The director mentioned this situation is horrible because parent is smooth or obsessed.
Yeah, it's like obscene.
Yeah.
It's a bad word.
Yeah, bad. Very bad. A human used to viviparous, or maybe the horror is a woman pregnancy, or woman had embryon or passed for period gestation.
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay. Pregnancy. Pregnancy is fine.
Yeah, this situation is very upset for the now or the human alpha in this state. for Earth is normal, but in this society it's very strange. Y
Yeah,
bueno,
yeah, the story. Thank you.
the little boy listened a program on the radio while he asleep, and he remembered the next day in the morning he repeat program on the radio, and in this book mention a Dr. Cho.
Mhm.
He recognizes language in English and detect uh, condition. Uh, the name is Hypnopedia.
Hypnopedia.
Hypnopedia. Yeah.
So yeah, this is supposed to be a teaching technique that you learn while sleeping.
Yeah.
Actually, just a quick comment. I once saw a magazine that is called Mecánica Popular. Popular Mechanics is a very well-known magazine of science. And this was like a 50s version or 50 something, almost 60 and edition, sorry. And in this edition, they were advertising for an English course while sleeping. And this was real life. This is a real life magazine. So in real life, we actually proposed the idea of learning while sleeping. Imagine this. There would be no need to have the course. You just need to sleep and listen to English. That's it.
And
That's it. That's
what
all.
is your what is your opinion about that? Teaching English through sleep.
Where can I start explaining that that's impossible? Actually, what we do while sleeping, is processing the information we learned during the day. Sleeping is essential in the learning process, but it's because it's the processing of information. We process all the information we acquired in the day while sleeping, and we practice it in our dreams. For example, you maybe don't remember, but you definitely practice your English while sleeping. But it's just that you're dreaming of situations in which you can use the vocabulary you learn. And that's why little kids need to sleep a lot, because they need to process a lot of information, and we adults don't need that much. And that's also why when we don't sleep enough, like every day in now with the pandemic, so like every day now we don't process things that good because we haven't slept enough. So I know that it's impossible to learn a language while sleeping, but it's very important to sleep while learning a language. So speaking of that, guys, what was the name? Sorry, Hypnopedia, this technique that they use, the world state use. What do you think of the things they teach kids while sleeping? What do you think of the messages shared in their sleeping period? Christian, remember what the infants heard while sleeping?
I remember that quote like uh, delta are the words are the lower of the kids, and beta are the best, but
Ah,
not.
What are the best? Beta are the second.
No, one more. Beta are
Ah,
the best,
sure, sure.
but uh, no, no with the alpha.
Yeah. So it was pretty much on that way, guys. I'm gonna hang up now. I'm gonna call you back right now because the Zoom and his love for cutting meetings. So I'm gonna please stay online. I will call you back right away so we can go back to Christian's point and talk about the conditioning. Okay? Don't go away.
Okay.
Okay.